So Diamond. Should be a fascinating race, won't it? A long race for any single scullers.
Yeah, so these are two lightweights, but Schmid, I see, is actually trying to go heavyweight. They're going to try and break into that Swiss team. He is a very experienced sculler, the Swiss sculler Schmid, European champion in the lightweight single 2018.
He's being told by the umpire to...
He's gone right across there, too.
Yeah, this is Michael Schmid from Switzerland, who has gone across and now has to have a look over his shoulder, rather an anxious look over his shoulder. The umpire's helped him out and sent him packing back towards the pluck station. James Temple competing against him. This is going to be a long, drawn-out race, and the pain will be etched all over their face in around about 3 or 4 minutes' time.
It really is. And James Temple, he's not a stranger to Henley. Won the PA here in 2016, and he's been doing international stuff on the lightweight scene. So he knows what he's doing here, but he's up against some stiff competition in the form of Schmid, who's put on a bit more weight this year. You can see he's bulked out a bit, and he's trying to break into that heavyweight men's team in Switzerland.
James Temple there to the left of your picture in the blue boats, known as JT to his Edinburgh University teammates, president of that boat club last year. Represented Great Britain in the under-23 Worlds on a couple of occasions.
Very upright style. He's really tall in the body, tall in the hips. Compared, if you look across the screen, to Schmid, who's a bit more of a power C, we call it in the rowing world. He's quite low down in that boat, but he looks very strong.
Yeah, James Temple with a bolt upright posture. Always looks quite stylish, that to me.
It does, yeah. I'm more power C girl, but I always kind of
in terms of what you look for, or in terms of what you do?
Well, the ideal is we'd like people to look quite tall in the boat and rocked over. You want to get your maximum amount of length from the hips and rock over and keep that stroke long. But lots of people aren't naturally gifted to be able to rock over from the hips, me included, so normally not very good for your back, but lots of people kind of bend from the lower back, from down there in the lumbar spine, and it can be very strong position. And if you're strong enough to hold that position, like Schmid looks like he's got some muscle on those bones, he's going to have a powerful stroke.
There we are, the bolt upright James Temple. Is that a smile or a grimace?
I think you're probably grimacing by now. You're a couple of minutes in the single one-on-one. I know we're going to say that a lot this week, one-on-one racing, but it's very different for anyone that's tuning in that doesn't normally watch rowing. One-on-one racing is very intense. Normally, internationally, or actually nationally, if you the Marlow Regatta, the Metropolitan Regatta, you'd race 6 lanes. So you'd always have somebody you'd probably be alongside. This race, if you're behind, you're losing. You're down.
And it can be lonely. It
can be very lonely. Certainly in a single, you haven't got anyone there to will you on. You've got to be a tough nut to get down this course, sitting 2 lengths down. James Temple is now, but he's hanging in there, and I think his class and his experience in this course should shine through the middle of the race. It's a long race, and that's something everyone has to remember. We'll hear that a lot this week as well. It's 112 metres longer than a normal international rowing race.
You mentioned that Schmid is trying to break into the heavyweight Swiss squad, and he took a break from racing in the early part of the year to try and achieve that. It's a big step, isn't it?
Yeah, so what he'll probably be doing through the winter, if he's going to bulk up, we do a lot more weights, probably start increasing how much food you're eating.
Eat more.
Yeah, so you want to build muscle mass, really. He's probably not the tallest of guys, he's a lightweight rower, so you've got to look to expand in other ways, and he certainly looks quite muscular coming down this course.
The eating more side of it sounds quite appealing, but you do need to combine that with a bit of gym work.
That is something I miss, Tim, not being a rower anymore.
Not being able to take on as many calories.
Second breakfast is something you certainly miss being a normal person. But yeah, rowers, we are training 3 times a day. You're probably eating somewhere in excess of 5,000–6,000 calories, which is almost triple what an average person would eat in a day. So some people really struggle to get that amount of food in. Me, not personally, I don't mind eating too much, but it's hard. So then if you're thinking about someone like Schmid, who's training that much and eating that much anyway, it's actually quite a hard task to say, right, you're going to put on 10 kilos, you've got to get bigger.
So if you've got a high metabolism, if you've got efficient metabolism, that could be quite challenging.
Absolutely, and as athletes, you probably have quite a high metabolism. A lot of people, you've trained your body to be these machines and to burn off energy, and It's no small feat. We had a rower, James Clark, who did that between the 2008-2012 season. He switched from being a lightweight rower in Beijing, and he won medals in the heavyweight men's eights in the interim period, but it's very hard work to do, and it's a hats off to anyone that can do that.
On the flip side, training and trying to stay as a lightweight can be equally challenging, can't it? If you're right on the cusp, having to train without eating as much as you'd like to.
Absolutely. That kind of controlled diet whilst training is very, very hard to do. I think once you get to the really elite level, like these guys are, it becomes kind of second nature, so they'll know their diets inside out. But it's certainly not an easy task.
They get hangry.
I've seen lots of angry lightweights, yeah, indeed. Don't try and talk to them or juggle them too much around weighing in time a couple of hours before their race, but they are incredible to do that, and I'm just thankful I was a heavyweight.
I always think of the jockeys. We were down at Royal Ascot a couple of weeks ago, and the jockeys who have to make their weight have a similarly disciplined lifestyle to the lightweights in rowing. So there we are, James Temple trying to keep pace with Michael Schmid, the Swiss, struggling to do that at the moment.
A good performance here. He's not let him absolutely shut the door on him, but we never know how much Schmid's saving for thinking about further on in the week. There's some tough competition in the Diamonds. It's not an easy route to win that little red box on Sunday.
Well, last year on the Sunday, the final of the Diamonds was my favourite race of the year. Mahi Drysdale beating Borch of Norway. Do you remember that?
Incredible race, yeah. Mahi's got incredible international pedigree, but great pedigree on this course right here. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do here.
The finish to that race was astonishing. He left it ridiculously late, Mahi Drysdale, and just turned on the turbo and off he went.
I think if you've got that pedigree and that experience, and you know exactly how to get the most out of your boat, you can kind of have the guts to save it to the very end. But here we come down the enclosures.
Yeah, I don't think either of them all wanted to meet anybody about Mahi Drysdale's quality, but it looks like it might be too much for James Temple, this one. Schmid will progress, the Swiss we've been talking about, who's been making that transition into the heavyweight Swiss squad, has put in a good performance here. And he'll be thankful the race, the torture is nearly over. A little glance over his right shoulder to see where the finish line is. Good news, he's there. And Michael Schmid of Switzerland in the Diamond Challenge Sculls beats James Temple. And on he goes. Good race though. Both of them kept it alive.